All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to start building our hallway circuit or three-way switch circuit, depending what you want to call it. The reason I call it a hallway light is because what happens is in a hallway, you'll have a switch on either side of the hallway and a light in the middle. You'll walk up to the hallway, flip the first light or light switch on, walk down the hall with the hallway illuminated by the light, and you'll flip the other switch, and then the light should turn off. Now, a couple things I want to point out to you on this circuit are we're going to be using all three-way switches. Both of these switches are three ways. We're also going to be using a different type of wire. Notice this is a 12-3, so meaning it's a 12-gauge wire and there's three wires in that loom. We're going to go ahead and we're going to start working with our our red wire, I should say. Again, this is not counting the ground wire that is in there too, just so you guys know. So typically this would be actually a 12-by-4. Couple other things I want to point out is this red wire is kind of important at this point because what it's doing is it's actually transferring power from this first switch over here all the way up through the light box and then down into the other switch. So what happens is when this switch is turned off, the power will be running through the red wire all the way over here to the other switch, so now it has power so it can control that light. Notice that it's actually not doing anything inside of this light box at all. It's really just connecting. You don't have to put all of these connectors in if you don't want to. There's not a purpose to some of them. This one here does have a purpose. Notice that it's coming from a black wire and it's turning into a white wire with tape on it. Again, make sure you guys put your tape on there, otherwise this could get very confusing very quickly, okay? Just now, it does have one light. You could add multiple lights on there. All we're going to do is we put those in parallel and just keep on adding on to the circuit. Otherwise, let's go ahead and let's get our trainer out and let's take a look at it. Okay, so here's my circuit all built. Again, I know that I've kind of kept to the same layout when I'm putting all my stuff up here, but it really doesn't matter. In fact, this is a little bit easier in some ways, so make sure when you guys are putting them on here you do it just however you'd like. So we got our two three-way switches here, we've got our light, and we also do have a ground right next to our light to indicate that that is a grounded box, just like that. So let's go ahead and I'm going to plug this in and let's test it out. Alright, so if I flip, let's say I walked into the hallway and I flip this one on, light turns on, right? Now I walk down the hallway and I flip this one, light turns off. Now if I flip this one down, the light would turn back on, this one would turn off, or turn it on again, or turn it off again, I'm sorry. You do notice that I actually flipped this switch on to turn off the light. That's because we are actually transferring the power from going from this box all the way over into this box, and it's actually going up through the light and switching the directions, I guess. So notice our red wire here. If we go ahead and we just pull this off, you can see that all it's doing is jumping from one switch all the way over to the other one. So just when you're laying this one out, really keep in mind those wire colors. We do have ours here that does have our black tape on it. It's right on the side here. I don't know if you can see it, but make sure that you do put that tape on or you're gonna have some problems, okay? Otherwise, just make sure that it operates just like so, and you should be good. A lot of times when I see people mess this one up, they will flip on this switch and then they have to flip this switch on to get the light to turn on. So that would mean that these switches are in just a series circuit. While we don't want that, we actually want to be able to transfer that power around. This is actually a really cool circuit. So just remember when you guys are submitting it to walk me through how the circuit works. Otherwise, you guys are good to go.